Hmm. Yeah. Or you can add a constraint, give the name of the constraint, and then say foreign key, and then say references. No, if you say add a constraint, then you have to say in this table column name, references, some other tables, in brackets column name. Why do you guys not see what is the foreign key? You know? You? Well, what is there to be perfect? You guys? Hmm? Hello. Hello. None of these, I mean, I asked you to set this right yesterday. So you'll have to write something like, say, create table, say r underscore student course, student ID integer, and then you can just say, should I say foreign key or should I just say references? I can just say references, say student tables in the bracket, student ID. Is this over right? Okay. Or let me check the syntax once. Already there. Okay. This is how you create. Or what you can do is you can create instead of writing like this, you just say constraint sq underscore some name. Okay. ARSQ, and then cu foreign key. Now and then I have to say foreign key. I have to say which column here I guess. References, student, here also, this also in brackets, like this. Yeah. Okay. Which column? This column. Reference is what? Student tables, student ID. Okay. So that is how you write. Now, what I asked you to read was joins, right? Okay, what are the kinds of joins? Cross join, inner join, left outer join, right outer join, full outer join, and self join. Okay, so imagine there is let's work on this database. The database SMS. Say you have a table called author. Okay, there is a table called author and then there is a table called publisher. So if I say select star from author, so I just say you have author ID, author name and city. Okay, and then you have something called select star from publisher. So you will get publisher ID, publisher name and city. Okay. If I just say cross join, select star from author cross join publisher. What it does is, it takes the first record of the author row, first record of the publisher, combines together shows as one record. It takes the first record of author, second record of publisher, combines and then shows as one row. First record of author, third record of publisher shows together as one row. And then it takes the second record of author, first record of publisher. So if there are 3 records here and there are 4 records here, the output will be 3 into 4, m into n records. Okay. So it is called a Cartesian product of the number of rows in each of the table. Okay. So if at all you did a cross join between 3 tables. Okay. In the first table there were 2. In the second table there were 3 records. In the third table there were 4 records. What will be the output? 2 into 3, 6 into 4, 24. Okay. So it will just take a combination of each and every row of each table with the other rows of other tables and then put them together in one single row and then display. That is what is called a cross join. Next. There is something called select star from author, select star from publisher. Okay. Now, when you see the results below, can you tell me the author and the publisher who live in the same city? Which author and which publisher live in the same city? Shyam and MGH, where do they live? Chennai. That's all. Ullas and SP live in Delhi. So how did you find this out? No. Mentally, how did you find it out? You joined city columns, right? You wanted to check the matching values in the column city. Okay? So you first took Bangalore and then you went and checked in the other table. Where is Bangalore? No, it's not there at all. Then you took Pune and then you went and checked in the other table. It's not there. You took Chennai and then when you went to the other table you found that Chennai is there in the first row. Okay? So you matched these two fellows and then you gave the output. Then you once again started searching if there is another Chennai. It is not there. Then you took Delhi. Not there. Okay, it is here. So Ullas and SP. So what you're trying to do here, whenever you say it's an inner join, you try to take two tables, okay, on some matching condition of some two different columns. You try to match the rows and then try to display. So how do you do that? I would say A. I will just say select. Now I just want to know the name of the author, name of the publisher. So I'll say author name, pub name. Okay. I also want to know the city name. Okay, from author A, sorry, I'll just say from author, inner join, publisher, on what? Author dot city is equals to, okay, will it give the result or will it throw an error? So it says, it threw an error on city. It is saying ambiguous column name city. What is ambiguous about it? It does not know from which table it has to pick up the city value. Whether it has to take from author table city value or whether it has to take from publisher city value. So it is up to you. You have to say take it from author, because anyways you are only going to get the matching cities. Is that fine? Now if at all the name of the table was large, if at all the name of the table was huge, and everywhere you had to say author dot author name, something like that, you have to do all this. It becomes painful to write such big names. So what I'll do, I'll give an alias name to author, I'll say A. I'll give an alias name to publisher and I'll call it as P. And then I'll say A dot author name, A dot city. And here can I leave it as author dot city and publisher dot city? I'll first leave it. Okay, it will still throw an error. Why? Because it does not identify author now. It only thinks that there is a table called A and then there is a table called P. You getting my point? Why do we do this? So that we don't have to use the lengthy name. Yeah? So this is how you join two tables. Now if at all you had another table, called student, okay, let me create a simple table called, I'll have something called student name, where care of 50, call it as you'll have 4 students, say Sajat, okay, I have to give different names because authors' names are also the same. So I'll say Gopal, Ram, Kevin. Okay. I have these 3 names. Now what I want to do, I also want to get the name of the student who lives in the same city. So what I will say, I'll say student name. Okay, and then what I can do, I can say inner join student city SC, okay, on the first join is for A dot city is equals to P dot city, and what is the other one? SC dot city is equals to A dot city. You can just leave it like that. Any common cities will match. Is it student city or okay, do it. Huh? I wrote it like this. Why? Because till here what will happen? It will be the result of the first join. Okay? Then the result of the first join will be joined with the other table on this condition. Okay, if you want you can just write it here. I'm not sure why it is not allowing me to do that. Okay, I understand. Or you can just say, okay, now for this the syntax is this way. Whenever you are doing join, you first join on a condition, get the result. On that you perform another join with another table with the condition. The other way of writing this is, you can also write something called select a dot auth name. I don't need a dot auth name because it is there only in one table. Auth name a dot city from author A, comma publisher P, where a dot city is equals to p dot city. Okay, so this part I am writing it like this. Instead of using inner join, what do I mean, sorry, let me remove this. If this is the query, I am using inner join. The same query, to get the same output, I am using a where condition. Okay. What is the difference between writing an inner join and then not writing an inner join, putting two tables next to each other and then say where something? Whenever you do this, you put a comma, first table comma second table. It will first do a cross join. And then it will use this condition to filter out rows. Okay. Whenever you write like this, it will first do a cross join and then it will use this condition to filter out rows. So when I say cross join, what is the intermediate result? If there are 100 rows here, 100 rows there, it will be 10,000 rows altogether. From there it will start filtering based on the condition. But if at all you did inner join, it will take the first row, go on matching. If it finds anywhere, it will stop. It will take the second row, go on matching. If it finds anywhere, it will stop. Okay. The number of iterations taken will be far less when you use the inner join. Okay. So you are always supposed to use inner join rather than writing this kind of statement. Both will give the same result. But writing an inner join is a much better way of programming. Okay. From author A public, if at all here I had to get another table, I will call it as student name. Student city, SC, where I will put a dot and then I can write SC dot city is equals to a dot city. Is that fine? You can write it like this also. So you can go on joining multiple tables. Okay. Whenever you use inner join, you join two tables on the basis of a condition. Then you say inner join, you join the third table on the basis of a condition. Next, if I want to join one more table, I will say inner join some other table. Okay. And then on some condition. Then what is going to happen? Every time when you are joining more tables, okay, the output of the first join might be small and then that will be matched with the entire big table. Okay. And once again the output of that join will be matched with the entire big table. So in this process, what will be happening? Only smaller set of result sets will be iterated through. But if at all you had 100 records here, 100 records here, 100 records here and 100 records here, and you wrote like this. So what will be the intermediate output? 100 into 100, 10,000 into 100, 10,000 into 100 is 10 lakhs, no? 10 lakhs into another 100 is 10 crores, is it? Yeah. So there will be 10 crore records of which it will start filtering. It will take a lot of time. They are not supposed to do that. Are you understanding what I am saying? Next. Let me keep the okay, so in this, what is the output? You only get two author and the publisher who live in the same city. But now, my thing is, I want to know all the authors. I just want to know all the authors and only those publishers who live in the same city as the author. Okay? I want to know all the authors and only those publishers who live in the same city as the author. So who are all the authors? I want to get Sadat, Vasu, Sham and Ullas. And I only want to get the names of publishers who live in the same city. So MGHN, SP. So how will I get? What I will do is, I will say the same thing. Instead of author A, I will say left join. So which table is on the left hand side? Author table is on the left hand side. So it will give all the results of the author table and only those matching records of the publisher table. You get my point? Wherever it does not match, it will just put null. Now whenever I say right join, of left I am saying whichever table is on the right hand side, it gives all the rows of that particular table. So it is giving all publishers and it is only giving those authors which match, and where it does not match it is giving null. If at all I say full outer join, it will give left as well as right, and it will also give those fellows who match. Okay? It will give left, it will give right, it will also give those fellows who match. Okay? So, is this same as cross join? No. Cross join would have given you a lot more results. Which do not match also it gets. Okay? But here, it only gives left, right, and then only those who match. That is what is called a full outer join. Clear? And the last one. Where? Yeah. City name for these fellows, because I am taking A dot city. Had I put P dot city here, then I would have got for all the publisher cities, but wherever the author series does not match, that fellow will not be there. Okay? It depends on which column type you have taken. Next. So there is a table called employee. Okay, this is a little bit. Okay. So there is a table called employee, in which there is employee ID, employee name, and manager ID. Okay. We are all employees here, say. We are all employees here. Your employee ID is 1, his employee ID is 2, his employee ID is 3. Okay, her employee ID is 4. Your manager is that fellow. If I ask you, what is your manager's employee ID? This fellow there. 2. Okay. What's your manager's employee ID? 2. Okay. If I ask you to get your manager's name, based on the employee ID, you will get his name. Okay. Now say you are the boss and you don't have any manager reporting to you. So what's your manager's employee ID? Nothing, right? That is exactly how we have to describe how this table is. There is a table called employee, in which there is employee ID, employee name, and then there is a column called manager ID. But what values go in this manager ID? The IDs of the employees, whoever is the manager for this fellow. Okay? So 1, Sadat, he has no manager. 2, Vasu. Who is Vasu's manager? Employee with ID 1, who is nothing but Sadat. 3, Ullas 1. So once again Ullas manager is Sadat. 4, Sham 2. Sham's manager is Vasu. So I just want to get the output that says employee name and the manager name. How do you get it? So there is only one table, right? I'll say select employee name. I need the manager's name. The output I want is Sadat null, Vasu Sadat, Ullas Sadat, Sham Vasu. I will have to do self join. So what should be the next column? Even that will be employee name. Come on. How can you say ID? I am saying I want the name. Okay. As manager name, we'll find out how to get. Okay. From employee table. Okay. E. Okay. And then if I say inner join, there is nothing, no word like self join. Where were you? This is the second time you are doing SQL and you are saying self join. Employee M on, what is it? So can I say this employee name, from which table should it come? E or M? Should it come from E or M? It should come from M. Okay? On what? Give me this condition. E dot is equals to, tell me, E dot employee ID is equals to M dot MGR ID. Correct? Tell me ladies, what is it? E dot manager ID is equals to E dot employee ID. What is it? Think and tell, please. It is so simple there right in front of you. Who is your manager? What is he? In the manager table, okay, what is his employee ID? 2. So in your employee table, what is your manager ID? Okay, if at all you are the boss. Now you are not the boss, you are reporting to him. Tell me. If you are the employee, okay, your boss number is 2. Okay. What is your employee ID? Okay. What is your manager ID? Okay. So in the employee ID, your manager ID is, in the employee table, your manager ID is 2. As per the manager's list, okay, what is your manager's employee ID? 1. So what should be the condition here? Aditya? Should be employee's manager ID is nothing but that fellow manager's employee ID. That is what it is. I have to say here E dot employee name. Okay, so Vasu, Sadat, Ullas, Sadat, Sham, But what has happened in this whole process? Sarat is also an employee, right? Why did his name got eliminated? Because he did not have a matching manager and we did an inner join. So if I want to know the list of all the employees, then what should I do? I need to know all the employees, then what should I do? All the employees means what should I put here? This table is on the left hand side. Employee table. Guys, you guys are understanding or not? Huh? Why does it take so long to understand? Are you not used to using your brain? Tell me, 4 years in the college you guys have not used brains at all? Okay? If at all you put this e.employee ID is equals to m.manager ID, this is bullshit. Give you some crappy data. You have to logically think. Okay? Fine? Okay. Next. Clear till here? What are the various kinds of joins? Okay. Whenever I say let's join, the table on the left hand side, all the rows of that table will come, and the table on the right hand side, only the matching rows will come. Okay. If I say right join, all the tables on the right hand side, and only those ones matching on the left hand side will come. Okay. What else did I ask you to do? Huh? So what is selecting to? Huh? Is that all? Okay, for creating backups you use that, but what will be the result of a select into? How do you write a select into? Just give me an example. I want student. There is a table called student here. So I'll just say select star from student. This is the, okay. So how do I use select into? Select star from select star into, I'll just give a new for table name. So will the table be created here? Okay. Okay, then. Okay. There is something called insert into, say, student. In this table, I want to insert the output of some other table. Select star from, say, a student. What will happen? If you run this through, what will happen? Whatever is the result of this query will get inserted into student table. Okay? Two ways of doing it. Whatever you did, took the first table and then copied it into some other table. Okay? In this case, there is an existing table. You wanted to copy the data of one table into the other table, so you would do this one. Clear? Next. What else did I ask you to do? I have not done that any time, so it's okay. Next. Difference between, why are you looking at the book? It should be there in your head. What else did I ask you to do? Difference between delete and truncate. Okay. So what does delete do? Okay. When you say no, one by one. When you say delete, you can delete the data. Can you put a where condition on delete? Yes. What does truncate do? No, don't go till rollback. First, can you put a where condition on truncate? So, when you say truncate, what do? You say truncate, table name. Okay. So delete is what? DDL or DML? DML, right? And truncate? DDL. Okay. DDL or DML? DDL. Okay. So the other thing is, what he's saying is rollback, right? Whenever I say delete, there is a history maintained in the transaction log. So if at all you have to roll back, you can always get back that particular information. Whereas when you say truncate, there is no history maintained. It directly deletes all the data, so you can't roll back. Next thing. Which one is faster, delete or truncate? Why? Okay. So there must be some time also taken to maintain history, right? Okay. So truncate is always faster, whereas delete is slower. Next. What is the other difference? Say there is an identity column. There is an identity column. What is an identity column? Auto increments. It gives its own value. Okay. So you have a school. In which we kept giving student IDs to people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. 10th fellow quit. Another fellow joined. What will be his student ID? In the real world, what will be his student ID? 10. Why not 10? Huh? What will be the problem if it is 10? Duplication. Okay. So let us first assume that the 10th fellow left, 11th fellow joined. We gave him an ID 10. The 10th fellow wrote exams till half yearly. After that he quit. 11th fellow came and joined after half yearly, but we gave him an ID 10, and then we continued. So as per the record, the student with ID 10 has written all the exams. First unit, second unit, half yearly, everything he has written. But ideally speaking, is it one fellow who wrote or there are two people who wrote? Two people who wrote. So that's the reason, whenever we say identity, even if that fellow is deleted or if he leaves whatsoever, we never try to reassign that value to that new fellow. We always go to the next one. Clear? Now, in the real world environment, right, whenever you are developing applications, you created one database. You inserted some dummy data. And then it started incrementing values, everything was fine. You realize your program is perfect now. Your testing, everything is perfect. You have to deploy it to production, or you have to use this for production. Okay? So what you do without knowing anything, you went and then say delete start from student. Okay? And then you started inserting the real time students in it. So while testing, you inserted some 84 students or something like that. When you started inserting new students, where will the ID start from? 85. Okay? But should that be the case, or should it restart from 1? It should restart from 1. So in such cases, you always have to go and truncate the table. Okay? whenever you move from one environment to other environment. When I say environment, in offices there is something called development environment, QA environment, production, okay, like that. So you always have to truncate it. Clear? Next, what did I ask you to do? Views. Okay. What is a view? Huh? The temporary table? No. It is a virtual table. Okay. If you say temporary table, it is wrong. If you say virtual table, it is correct. Okay. There is a difference between temporary and virtual. Okay. Virtual means it does not exist. Temporary means it exists even for a moment. Okay. Temporary means it exists for a moment. Virtual means it never exists. Okay. So whenever I say view, it is a virtual table. Why do we create a view? You are saying to restrict the access, okay, but the right word is to implement some security on the data that we have. Okay. Let us take a very simple example. I have a table called patient here. Let me see what is there in it. So let's start from patient. What is there in it? There is patient ID, patient name, address, city, phone, disease 1, disease 2, medicine 1, medicine 2. Clear? There is a table called patient in a hospital which has patient ID, patient name, address, city, disease 1, disease 2, medicine 1, medicine 2. There are 3 people in the hospital. One is the doctor, one is the receptionist, the other one is the nurse. Okay? So, if I am the doctor, what is my interest? His city? Am I interested in his city? No. Address? What am I interested in? Disease 1, disease 2, medicine 1, medicine 2, and the name definitely, or the ID whatsoever, anything. Right? If I am the receptionist, am I interested in his diseases? What am I interested in? Name, address, city and phone number. Why? Because I might have to contact him and then say, come back or whenever his next appointment. If I am the nurse, what am I interested? Name and medicine. Not even interested in the disease. I'll just go on time, give this medicine, come back. I'm not interested in his diseases. Okay? Now you created this table. You created a user ID for the doctor. You created a user ID for nurse and receptionist. All 3 of them logged in. Do they have access to the entire table? Yes or no? Yes. But what should they have access to? Only a part of the table. Okay. Now, let's take the example of a car. Okay. You have a Mercedes car. You have a driver, you have a mechanic, and you yourself are there. What can the driver have access to? Front seat, back seat or driver seat? Driver seat. What can the mechanic have access to? Front seat, back seat, driver seat or the bonnet? Huh? It's just the bonnet, the engine wherever the problem is. Or once in a while to sit and test drive or something like that. You are the boss. You own the car. What do you have access to? Front seat, back seat, bonnet, driver seat. Huh? Who said driver seat? No, it's everything. It's everything. Okay. So whenever you talk about the patient table, if I am the administrator of this database, I have access to the entire patient table. But if I am the receptionist, my view should be only confined to patient name, address, city, phone. If it is the doctor, my view should be confined to name, disease and medicine. Okay. Will you, if you are the owner of the car, for the driver, will you create a separate seat and then give it to him? No, right? And say this is driver's seat, just sit here outside the car? No. If it is the mechanic, you don't remove the engine and then go give it to him, right? It will all be there together, but only thing is you restrict their view, saying that this is what you need to have a look at. In the same way, this patient table, will I maintain 3 patients table, one for patient reception, patient doctor, patient nurse, or will I have only one table and then create 3 different views? Which one is a good solution? One table and then create 3 different views. Okay, so what I'll do is, there is something called views. I've already created these views, let me drop them. Create view and give a name. Receptionist has, what is it? I'll just select star from, sorry, not star. Select, I'll give patient ID for everything. Patient ID. Fine. So view okay. Done. If I have to see the data, what are I supposed to select? Then what is going to happen? It is going to fetch the data from the underlying table. Okay, and then it is indirectly going to call the select statement inside. Whatever is the output, it will return. But does it store any data? View? Does view store any data of its own? It only pulls it from the underlying table. Now whenever you are creating a view, is it necessary that you only have to get it from one table, or you can get it from multiple tables? You can get it from multiple tables. That's the reason I taught you joins before going to views. Okay? So you can join multiple tables, and then you can write some select statements which join multiple tables, and then you can create a view out of it and then do it. So let's come to the security part. I mean, we were just saying that, how do we implement security? If I just log in as an administrator, I have access to select star from patient. I also have select star from view doctor, whatever. But the point is, what you should do, if I am the administrator now, so I will have to create some login. I will create one login that says doctor, password ABC, which database? SMS. We are on SMS. And then server roles, I'll say nothing. User mapping, I'll just say it belongs to SMS. And then I'll just give some public access. Securables. Don't hit here, no? Status, nothing, just say okay. Did I run as administrator? You should tell me the moment I... So I think those IDs are already, I mean, yeah, there is already a doctor. Let me delete this fellow and then see it again. Okay. Fine. So what I'll do, I'll first create a login for doctor. I'll use SQL Server authentication. I'll say doctor. Password is ABC. Confirm password ABC. Which SMS? Server roles, nothing. User mapping. Which database? SMS. Give public access. Don't give anything here. Just give public access. Don't give owner or anything like that. And then securables is all fine. Status, it's grant, login enable, just say OK. That's fine. Just okay, create it, and then go to these databases wherever they are. Those fellows will be appearing here as users. Doctor and nurse will be. Now you are doing all this in the capacity as an administrator of this database. Okay, when you have access to everything, you are creating some users. Okay, and then you are giving them permissions. So go into the database, go into security, go into users, go to doctor, and then say properties. Just give say schema, directly securables. No need to say guest as well. All objects of type. I just want views. Select. Which view is he entitled to? Doctor. On doctor, what can he do? He can say select. Okay, we will say doctor can only select. Can he insert? No, he can update, because he has to update the medicine 1, medicine 2, disease 1 and disease 2. Will the doctor directly insert the person in the record, in the database? No, it's the receptionist's job to insert a person whoever is coming. Doctor's job is only to update his disease and medicine. So I am giving for doctor only select and update. I am not giving anything else. Don't I have to give him guest access here? Okay. Yes, let me remove it. Yes, okay. Next to nurse. Go to securables, add. Nurse can only select. She doesn't do anything. She only has to select. Okay. For receptionist, if you want, we can give anything else. Now the thing is, we have to log off. Okay. But before that, just ensure that whenever you have installed your SQL server, there is something called security, and the server authentication should be in mixed mode, SQL server and Windows authentication mode. Normally while installing, we'll put it in Windows authentication mode. So when you say Windows authentication mode, if you have logged into the server using your Windows credentials, it will directly let you in. But if you want to use your separate SQL Server user ID and password, it will not happen. So just ensure that that is there. Disconnect, connect, say SQL Server, nurse, I'll say ABC. Say connect. What will I have access to? Which database? Will I have to SDB? No. Will I have to SDB1? No. SMS? Yes. There are so many tables here, but I can't see any of the tables because I don't have access to all that. There were two views, but I am only able to see one view. I can right click and then say open view. Means it is select, right? Open view is as good as saying select ABC. I can just say select okay. Should I say no, I'll say update set says you don't have update permission. Okay, I'll disconnect. Okay, now this fellow I'll say yes. Yes, sir. So is the doctor able to update? Because we gave him update permission. Can he insert? No. Okay. So can he see anything else? Doctor. He can only see the doctor view. So this is how we say we have to enhance security. Especially in the healthcare, in the medical or in the finance domain. Okay. So even in the healthcare domain, people don't want others to know what diseases they have. Okay. The receptionist or the nurse should not know what disease they have. They should only say, this is the medicine, go give it. Okay. Say somebody like Rahul Gandhi goes to a hospital and then he is suffering from, say, some big disease. Okay, nobody wants to know. Will they even let it out? They should not let it out. Even if the nurse knows, everybody else will know. That's the reason they will not do all that. Okay? Now even in your banks, okay, the receptionist, should she know the amount of money that you have in your bank? No. You only know your address and name, that's it. Okay? So views come very handy in such cases. Clear? What you have to read for tomorrow is how. So when you talk about views don't contain their own data. They get the information from the underlying tables. Views are not temporary tables. You should remember that. Huh? This will appear in the main table. It will be there in the main table. View is only a medium. Okay, it's only a medium to talk to the main information. And you should be able to create a view from two different tables. You should join two different tables and then create a view. And then I keep repeating this again and again. I should have made a problem bank and then given to you. Say there is a table 1 in which there is call 1, call 2, call 3. You created a view 1 from call 1 and call 2. Call 3 is not null. Call 1 is identity. Okay. First scenario. Can I insert a record into view 1? If at all I have given permission, can I insert a record in view 1? Can I insert a record in view 1? Yes or no? Why? Huh? Yes or no? Why? They have given insert permission also. Can I insert or not? Why? No is not important to me. Why is important? Column 3 will be null, and since the constraint is not null, it will not let you insert. Yes or no? Can I insert? If I try to insert, say these two values will go, but what about this value? Who will provide this value? And it is not null, but it will go as null, so this is not possible. Okay, if at all you created a view 2 from call 2, call 3. View 2 I created from call 2 and call 3. Can I insert? Yes? Why? Because identity will automatically give the value. Now if at all it said here not null and it had a default value of say some x. Can I insert? Yes? You people? Why so much doubt? What about you lady next? Will it insert or not? It will insert because even you have not provided the value, the default value will come and sit here. Okay? Now there is another table 2. Call 2-1, call 2-2, call 2-3. I created a view. Okay, so there is T1, table 1, in which there is C11, C12, C13. There is C2, C21, C22, C23. You created a view 1 from C11, C12, C22, C23. Did you understand? This one is here, this one is here, this one is here, this one is here. Okay, I created a view like this. Can I insert all 4 values together? Will it go and sit in those underlying tables? I don't think it's possible. At a given point of time, you can insert these two or you can insert these two. Okay? You can insert values of one table at a time. Either this one or this one. We need to figure all this out. Okay? Tomorrow's question will be, I want to see how much brains you have, how much you try to stress your brains and then try to come out with different solutions, okay, different questions. Okay? It is for you to think what are the kind of problems or what are the kind of questions that the interviewers can ask. What are the different scenarios? I mean, say, if one of these columns is not null, if it is included in a view, if one of these columns has a default constraint. Okay, how to do all that. And tomorrow's class we'll be doing, you'll also have to read in addition to this. We'll be doing functions tomorrow. Okay, you'll have to read what are scalar functions, what are table valued functions in which there is inline table valued function and multi-statement table multi-statement table valued function. You have to find out what are these, how to use them. Okay, and then there are aggregate functions which we already saw. You don't need to create aggregate functions, but you need to know what are the aggregate functions. Sum, min, max, average, what is count, and then scalar, that is scalar function. In addition to that, you have to read what is cast, convert, then and then okay, what is get date, what is date add, date diff, month, year, day, and then date part. Write fast all these: date add, date diff, day, month, year, date part. Okay, and then there are some global variables like asset, row count, asset error, okay, and then there is something called table variable. Okay, @table. This is nothing but a table variable. So you'll write something like declare @something as table. Okay, so you'll have to find out what is this table variable, and then there is something called hash table, and then double hash table. There is hash table, there is double hash table. One is a temporary table, one is a global temporary table. How many of you know for loop? For. Everyone knows for loop? While? Switch case? Okay. See, there is something called case statement when, then, end. This is similar to your switch in SQL, case statement. Okay, and then there is if then else. Okay, you'll have to find out what is if then else in SQL. Okay, and then in C# and everything, what will you do? You'll say if, and then you'll put these braces, right? But instead of writing that, you'll say begin and end here. Begin and end is as good as writing those flower brackets. Okay. If then case, what else is there? I think while should also be there. While loop. You should know how to write in SQL. Okay. Not too much for today. It's a pretty light one. So just sit and then finish all this by the end of the day. Tomorrow we'll discuss. I'll be first asking questions, testing your understanding in it, and only then I'll teach. Okay? If you're not able to answer, I won't teach. Huh? You are creating that are associated with a particular column or table. You have to go to the master database, in which there will be something called SysObject. Okay, on that you need to write the query saying select whatever object name from SysObject where it is bound to some table name. Okay, and then do it. I myself have never touched it. No. What you're saying, you have a rule, you bound it to a particular table. Okay. Yeah. So that rule object will be available in your rules, right? In your object browser. That rule object is available in the rules drop down. I mean that tree in the object browser. From there you know the name of the rule. Just go bind it to another table. Okay. If it is not there, you only have to query the SysObject in the master table. Okay. And that SysObject is not a table, it's a view again. Okay. Because master tables, they don't, in the master database, they don't directly give you access to everything. They only give access to you through views.